everybody, Fake Rooster here. I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to War Thunder. Now, if you've watched any of the previous videos from War Thunder, you know what we do in War Thunder, but in case you haven't, the main thing I've been focusing on with videos in this game has been ARB. We've been working our way through the American tech tree. We're trying to ace every vehicle that we can. We're trying to spade them all out. And so we've been working our way through. You can actually see my progress here, starting at reserve, and currently we're at 6. We've just finished 6.0 to 7.3, and then we're going to start moving into jet shortly. So usually what I'll do is I'll show a little bit of gameplay, some highlights. Obviously you're not seeing the really bad games, but you're getting some highlights as we try to spade vehicles and what my experiences have been like as a learner in this game, and I still consider myself a bit of a learner. And you sort of see me develop as I pick things up and hopefully share tips onto you guys in the various aircraft that we have shown. Today though, I'm going to do something a bit different. I've also been trying to learn ground RB and have been for some time, but I do not consider myself good enough to show most of the time. So normally what I would do in videos that I do on this channel is typically these videos will be live commentary of what's actually happening. But today we're going to have a little retrospective look at a game I had where I had one of the best performances I've ever had. And I wasn't recording, so we're going to use the replay system, which, it's alright for what we're planning on doing today, but does have its issues. But we're going to use the replay system to showcase a game that I did, and we're going to comment on what's going on as we're playing through it. So we have also been trying to spade out all of these vehicles. Some of them have been very rough. And some of them have been really fun. And one of the vehicles that has been really fun for me is one I recently completed, which is the T-26E5 heavy tank for the American tech tree at 6.7. We're going to talk a bit more about the tank as we check out a replay today, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the ride. And if you are enjoying yourselves today, do consider giving me a like. And if you're new around here and you want to see more content like what you're seeing today, please do subscribe. With that being said, let's get into the replay and I'll show you how I got on. Okay guys, so welcome to the replay of the match I had a few days ago in the T-26E5. Now the way we're going to do this is I'm going to follow my perspective and talk you guys through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Again, I'm kind of I still consider myself a bit of a novice, even though I've played about 400 hours, but it has been a very steep learning curve for me learning this game, so I thought it'd be useful to talk about this. What I'm doing here is obviously trying to cap C. I think I've got a mission to get caps, and then I spot a tank to my left. So my strategy is to back up and wait for him to peek, but he's obviously heard my engine. He's slowly peeking. So we have a little bit of a cat and mouse situation here. I'm going to take his track out and try and maneuver around him. Now, interestingly, this tank is sort of a jack of all trades, master of none, but it really suits my play style. And we'll talk a bit more about that as we get into the game. Its 90mm gun is fairly reliable, but can fail to penetrate if it goes into an up tier. It can be quite difficult to get those kills, and its mobility isn't the best. So here I'm trying to use a little bit of the mobility to get round and take a shot. Now, first mistake I make is right there. Instead of shooting the more vulnerable part of the tank, which is here, I decided to shoot the mantlet. Now, I know perfectly well I can go through here, but the small little bit of my brain forgets this as we're going through. So as I say, I'm not a master, but I'm quite good at pointing out where I've gone wrong. So we're not just going to focus on the negatives, we are going to talk about the positives here, but I thought that was worth highlighting as we see it there. So I'm still going to try and maneuver to the side of this vehicle, hoping that its cannon can't pen me, which I don't think it can. So we've taken out his other track, but he's smoked. So I'm trying to be quite patient in this current moment because I'm hoping to finish the cap and get a little kill here as well. I don't know what he's doing. Obviously, he's not moving. I'm biding my time. I know that if I rush him, he'll maybe try and call me out, or he'll try and drop arty on me, which I think is what he's doing. You can actually hear those arty spotting shells dropping around. I've got the cap, so I think now's the time to push, get around his side, and get the kill. Now that was fairly an execution that probably I could have got that kill about a minute and a half earlier. I just wasn't really thinking properly when I was aiming this thing. I get kind of a little bit panicked, but it's important to take your time. I knew I was panicking a bit, so I was, really slowly moving my way around that tank to get the kill. So we're going to push through the wall here. My plan is to flank up north and catch the enemies as they're moving into B. Always trying to keep an eye on what's going on. There was a tank there that I missed. I just noticed I looked away. There's a tank about here, if I remember rightly. It's making its move. So, a couple of things to note here. Number one, that tank wasn't the tank I thought it was. I thought it had its ammunition in the back. I thought this was a slightly different tank model than what it was. And number two, I switch targets but don't get the kill. So I've kind of put myself in quite a difficult position now because I've fired and given my position away twice. However, he hits my track and I get his ammunition through the little gap between the track and the hull. I'm watching back to the other two vehicles that I saw there, seeing if they're relaxed, if they react to it at all. There's an SBAA going right to left. As I say, I do consider myself novice enough that I don't really know the names of the vehicles, but I can identify, generally speaking, if they're light or heavy or what their class is. That's the thing I've tried to focus on. This plane, I'm wondering if I should be worried about the plane at all, but no, I'm kind of biding my time here, waiting for my track to fix and figuring out what I'm going to do next. So I decided to move around so that I put a bit of cover between me and the tanks that I know are over there, and keep looking that way just in case they peek back out again. I spot a Tiger to my right. I can go through this quite easily, but I miss. So instead of hitting where I should have hit, I bounced off the side of the gunner. I'm going to do another execution, so we're taking off his tracks. I'm going to try another shot. There we go. That was the shot I was trying to do the first time. Managed to get through, hit his ammo and kill all his crew. Job's done. But I'm still aware of those people that are sitting on my left. And you can see on the map down here that they are spotted now. So that means my team are engaging them. So I'm worrying a little bit less about them, as I'm hoping my team are pushing and engaging. I'm still going to hold this position. I hear this PT come through the wall. Doesn't even dead me. Turn around and kill him. No problem. This is going quite well for me, okay? We've picked up 4 kills at this point, which for me is really good. Generally speaking, any kill helps your team, but getting 4 made me feel like I was contributing well to the team. We're trying to prevent B from being protected. We've got a light tank that's moved in, so I know that if I cover him, we'll take B, no problem. I push probably a bit too aggressively here, but we push anyway. We have a little peek just to see if anyone's coming to flank. No one's coming. We're confident we can get through the gap before somebody turns up. We're going to keep pushing through, using the binoculars to, you know, spot anything that we maybe miss as we go past in case something appears, and I can re-posture for that. But we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to get another cap here as well. Now, it's about this point I start looking at the scoreboard, because that was very close. Because I'm suddenly aware that we're getting quite a lot of spawn points at this point. We need 2,500, and that'll get you a nuke. I'm not sure I'm going to get one, but I've started to notice, which makes me nervous, so I try to ignore that, push through and keep going. My plan here is to stop them trying to prevent the cap at A, and try and basically keep our team as in the fight and ahead as humanly possible. So we're making a little push here. We see some friendlies on the left of the point, so my thinking is I can kind of cut through and defend them as well. We see another target here. Took a shot before identifying the tank. If I'd realized that was a Tiger, I probably wouldn't have taken that shot, but we did anyway, and we know that we've got the ability to kill him fairly easily. And now I'm thinking about the nuke, and this is where things are going to start to go a little bit wrong. Playing this very poorly at this point. I'm chasing the Tiger. Now, even if I can't easily kill that tank, I should not be chasing at this stage, especially as I wanted a defensive posture. You know, it's 1, 2, 3 teammates just died. But I start to second guess what I'm doing. Now, it is worth noting that we are near the end of the spade of this tank, and I think that's important as well, because it gives us a bit more mobility, it gives us a bit more maneuverability with the gun. And there's the Tiger. Now the Tiger thankfully wasn't looking at me. If the Tiger had thought, oh, maybe I'm being chased, he probably would have turned round. Bad shot. Shouldn't have shot him there at all, but he is giving me the easy kill, which is the side shot near the front, because that's where the ammo is, and kill. I didn't hit the ammo, but I actually did kill the crew nonetheless. I have been playing a lot in the armor protection analysis mode, trying to figure out what I can and can't pen. Especially at this stage when I'm getting further into spading vehicles, I'm gaining more of an understanding of my enemy. We both whiff, but thankfully fine, we figure it out. Got 5 kills and 2 caps. We're about to get our 3rd cap at this stage. Okay, so we are working towards points goal I never thought I'd be actually working towards. So we're starting to reconsider what we're doing here. We know our team's got the advantage. We know we've lost C. The speed of this tank doesn't make me want to push all the way back down to C. What you will start to notice is we're starting to gain lots of air support, but we're losing tanks. Because obviously players are respawning in planes, which is fair enough, but it does mean we are losing the amount of ground vehicles we have. But I think it's fairly safe to say we're doing really well in this game as a team, which is awesome to see. And these are the kind of games that excite me, games where the team works together, really pushes. I would have liked more of a fight back from the enemy, but it is what it is. So we've got this cap here, so that's 3 caps, 5 kills and an assist at this point. So I think we've more than contributed to the team, and I realise this sight line is perfect for me watching them as they come out of their spawn. Okay. Now, they've done the sensible thing from their side of the map. They've taken out the fence, and now I see 3 targets. Now, the mistake I made was shooting before I'd really thought about it. Because I shoot, and as you'll see, that is not where we want to shoot that tank, okay? We want to shoot that where its gun is. We want to disable its gun, then its track, then get round the side, then kill it. That's what we need to do with this vehicle. We cannot pen it from the front, okay? But we made the mistake. We did it anyway. So how do I react from that? Well, thankfully, this tank in the back had a shot on me. Their own teammate messed them up because they popped smoke. They blinded them from killing me. So I should have died here. I didn't because they instantly popped smoke. So I think, well, I need to make a move here. So I need to get a better line of sight, and I need to not be where I was in case they're blind firing through the smoke. So I start moving to the side with this tank. I see someone in the distance, not paying attention. Easy kill, goodbye. Okay, now we've got 6 kills, 3 caps, and an assist. I know exactly how many points I have at this stage, but we'll get to why I know that in just a second. We're pushing through. There's no chance of us losing the match, and I think, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's see if we can get a few more kills. Another tiger kill, easy kill shot. The only reason I know that kill shot is because of how much I practiced fighting tigers and looking at tigers, because there is a point where you just can't fight them unless you know how. And that helps. So I'm thinking I can get this one at the back. Gun stabilized, perfect. 8 kills, 3 caps, 1 assist. Here comes our friends that we engaged earlier and messed up, and if we'd shot him in the cannon, this would have been a different engagement. We are 6 points away from getting a nuke. We are 6 points. He's taken my cannon breach out, or he's killed my gunner, I think. 6 points. I'm panicking. I know I'm 6 points away. I think, well, if I can swing around and the gunner comes back online, maybe I can... Nope, he's thought of that. My 50 cal's out as well, so I can't take his tracks out. And we're dead. That is the best I've ever performed in a War Thunder Ground RB battle. In one vehicle. That is the best I've ever performed. I was 6 points away from a nuke. But what I'm trying to showcase here is that when I first started playing this game, I was lucky to get a kill before I was annihilated. And even when I was getting to, you know, stages like... I'm going to switch to someone else. Let's watch the P8. Stages like, you know, 5.0 and upwards, where I should be getting kills and I should be improving and I should be doing really well. I still wasn't. I was really, really, really struggling with it. Look at this guy. Yeah, he's committed. And he's dead. So there we are. So that was the replay that I had to show you guys. I really thought I was going to get the nuke at the end. I thought it was almost a done deal. I really did. But I overextended. I shot in the wrong place, and that's just what happens, you know. So throughout that video, I was aiming for the weak points where I knew there were weak points, but there were some tanks I just haven't learned enough about. So I'm going to have to spend more time in protection analysis, really looking at what shots I should be taking. We did manage to spade this, so we have moved on. But this may be a vehicle that I come back to at some point because it really suited my playstyle of, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. That's the way I play this game a little bit. I find it quite hard to use specialist vehicles. That being said, our current lineup, 6.7, this is what we're working with. This is probably one of my favorite cast planes that I've ever used, so I might have to do a video on that. But we are learning these these tanks. The M50 is a really specialist vehicle. I loved it every second of it. I played it probably not the correct way. You're supposed to hide with this thing. I didn't. Again, I was doing a battle task where I had to get caps. Threw this thing at caps, and I had some amazing matches in it. Really, really enjoyed it. But ultimately, the point of today is that I don't know if I feel good enough yet. Maybe in the future to do an actual live commentary of Ground RB, because it can go anywhere, and that's why I wanted to use the replay to sort of show you guys what Ground RB looks like for me when it goes really, 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 really well. That's not an average game. That is definitely a highlight. So I hope you've enjoyed this different style of video. If you have, let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see more replays, or would you rather I just got on with it and just dealt with the fact that it's not always going to be good games to show you guys? Please let me know below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content in War Thunder and other action FPS games. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.